Alright guys, welcome back to another video. So we're going to be discussing how I make Dokkan Battle and Legends videos, and then we're going to be talking about how you can make them too. So as you see at the bottom, these are going to be classified in three things: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. This isn't these are basically based on how easy it was for me to do this starting out. So figuring out how to record was pretty easy for me, but it might be advanced for you. But like how to make thumbnails and stuff might be beginner for you but advanced for me. So you never know, but this is basically, again, based on my experience. So we're going to be discussing a lot of things. Just some off the top of my head is how to record, whether that be with like a capture card, a screen share, Bluetooth stream, overlay, and like how to have like overlays like mine and stuff like that. Audio, Dokkan osts, like putting that as like background music, and how to edit out some of the more time consuming parts. So like when you're doing PvP for Legends videos, you don't want to obviously have all of that loading in the middle, so that way it's just like you're just constantly having downtime and you're not having anything happen, and it's just losing all of the viewers right because of that, because they're just waiting so long, or they're like tapping 10 seconds ahead and stuff like that. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and hop right into it. Alright, so just to kind of start off, I do want to say, do not go into this buying like all of the top gear, getting the most expensive capture card, microphone, getting the most expensive headset and stuff like that, because you don't really know if you really like doing these videos until after you already started doing them. So again, make sure that you get a feel for it first, and make sure that you want to do them before you go into all of this, just to make sure, because it's better to do like really bad videos and maybe choppy quality, but hey, now actually you don't really like Dokkan videos, or you don't really like doing them as much as you thought they would. And rather than buying all of this gear and having like the nicest videos, but guess what, now you're like $300 down the drain because you bought the most expensive capture card to do the Legends videos or Dokkan videos. So again, just a warning, make sure that this is something that you want to do first. Okay, let's go ahead and start off with how to record. Alright, so we're going to be going over how to record and what the options that you have are. There is a lot of factors that go into this, but we'll start with what could be the cheapest option for you, and then start going into options that will be a little bit more expensive, like capture cards. So a lot of phones these days, if not like every phone that I know of that can basically play Dokkan Legends, already has a screen recording mechanic built into this. Mine is this. If I clicked it on it's right next to that like battery logo on the bottom left. If I were to click on that, it would go ahead and start screen recording my phone, of course. And then afterwards, you would just tap that button again and then stop screen recording. I know that Android also does it as well. Samsung phones, all those other phone companies, they all have some sort of screen recording option. So that is definitely something that you can do. Something that I've also noticed, I'm not particularly sure how, but you could also do it where you do the screen recording and then have it where you have it where the microphone is also recorded as well as your audio in game. Most of the time I would recommend not doing this, because not all of the phones have the best audio quality for your mics, and that can always be a thing that you could always fix post recording, but you can't fix it post recording if, of course, all of your audio is messed up from your mic, And not only that, but we're going to go into one of the reasons why later on, why you want to split the audio recordings up, so that way you could edit them. But yeah, that's basically one of the options. The second option, which we will go ahead and talk about here, let me just slide this in. So one of the other options, let me just put this up, move this over here, we'll do this. It's going to cover up most of the screen, but yeah. One of the other options is to just have it where you can record based on like doing screen shares through Discord, which I have done before, and we'll go ahead and show that option right now. So let's go ahead and join this right here. I went ahead and muted myself, of course, and then you go over here to share your screen, and then you would obviously share your screen. On mobile, it would be basically that exact process as well. I can go ahead and let me just pull it up on my phone, and then we'll kind of just show that as well. All right, so we'll go ahead and show how to do it through Discord. So basically what you want to do for the start is you want to do whatever display you are going to be putting your Discord on. So for example, we're going to be putting on the I have it on display 4. I don't have 4 monitors. I'm just too lazy to remember which one is which, so I make a new one. So basically you want to go over into OBS and then go over to display capture, and then you are going to make whatever, create a new one, and then put on the display that you are obviously going to be using. One second as I just do this real quick. All right, so we went ahead and put the Discord. This is basically Discord over here. As you can see, I'll just kind of like move this part a little bit so that way you can see that it is in fact Discord. All right, so you can go ahead and so basically what you want to do is, so this is like the tab, of course, of what we're going to be using. You're going to want to hold Alt and then make it where it does a cut of whatever you're going to be using. So we're going to push it like this. You're going to push this downwards, of course. So that way it's something like, you want to usually give a little bit of room because not all the animations are going to show that, of course. And then let's just move this out of the way, of course. So that way we could do this. And then you could always resize it to make it bigger. Whoops, I clicked on the wrong one. There's like 3 display captures, but it's fine. So then we're just going to do something like this. So that way it fits the screen. And there you go. You wouldn't even be able to tell I'm using Discord unless I probably already told you. Now, of course, the frame rate is going to be a little bit, it's going to be a little bit choppy at times. It is definitely going to depend on how far away your phone is from your computer, how good your Wi-Fi is, stuff like that. But you're gonna have to make it. You're gonna have to make it works. You know, you just gotta do what you gotta do to start off. And then, of course, you could always right-click and then adjust the stream volume. I wish they could show it, but there is unfortunately copyrighted music playing because it's the 8th year anniversary. But let's go ahead and you could already see that like let's just go ahead and hop into like Dokkan, or we'll just do a story event so that way we could like farm links and then kind of show it off. So let's go ahead and use my link level team. But yeah, as you can see, there's a little bit of frame drops here and there. Let's go ahead and do this. One thing that you definitely want to watch out for is there is a chance that your phone will just continue making the sound as well. So you do want to make it where the sound isn't too loud on your phone or coming from your phone. And if it is, make sure that you put your microphone a little bit farther away. So basically, just put your screen recording in the middle, like I just did right now. And then whatever overlay you're going to be using, you want to put those on the sides. But again, we're just doing screen recording right now. We'll go over overlays later. But yeah, as you can see, not a bad option to go ahead and start off with. Let's go ahead and hop into the next one. All right, now we're going to be talking about how to actually add your video if you do have a capture card. So you're going to want to click on the plus symbol and then go to video capture device. And then we already have Elgato, so as you can see here, this is what it would look like. This is what it would show before I edited it. You basically just want to hold Alt and then again push the black bars away so that way it's not like disturbing anything or taking up unnecessary space. And then it will just kind of like snap into place like that. So we'll go ahead and put this to the side. Now, there is a problem that you can run into, and which is something that I ran into, where you might need some color correction. So I have this labeled as fix Goku please. this is how it looks in game without the color correction that I added. And as you can see, Goku's gi looks a little bit more red than it does orange, like how it's supposed to. Another card that I guess we could look at is something like Kai Goku. You could see that all of the orange in this image looks a lot redder than usual. And then let's go ahead and do the fix Goku, please. And then there you go. Now you can see it's a lot better. Just without it, with it, without it, with it. Some small changes like that could always help with the recording as well. Of course, this isn't like a permanent fix, and you might obviously have a problem with your capture card, and I'm not going to know everything, and you know, stuff like that. There's always something that could go wrong with capture cards and wires and stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically the fix that I found for my recording. So let's go ahead and close that out, and then there you go. And then let's go over to something like no, not when I show my thing. We'll go to scene. Nope, we'll just do Vegito. So again, this is with the Goku fix, please. I'm pretty sure, or at least, yeah, it has the color correction, so it's fine. So as you can see, there is how it would look, and then that's basically all you need to do. Now let's go ahead and start going into the audio of stuff. So let me just, we'll go into the next part. All right, so audio. So let's go ahead and go into file, go into settings, and then go into audio. You want to make sure that, let's see, which part is it? Oh, I'm sorry. I believe it was in the output section. It is. So in the output section, you're going to see something like this where it shows audio tracks and the recordings. You are going to want to make sure that you have this specific thing set up, so that way you are able to separate the audios from each other. We're going to talk about why that is a big deal later on. As you can see here at the bottom, it will say that MP4 will be unrecoverable if there's power losses and stuff. You want to make sure that you want to be careful with that. If you are constantly having it where for whatever reason the recordings aren't permanently saved, or like you're always low on memory, maybe it's best to not do MP4. But I personally use MP4 because I am stupid. But yeah, again, this part is the main part. Make sure that you have the audio tracks on. So that, as you can see, Dokkan music is blaring, and we will fix that later on. But oops, not that part. We're going to go over to advanced audio settings. So as you can see, we have the tracks again. Let's go ahead and move this over. So we have the Elgato, my mic, and then the desktop audio. I actually have not configured the Elgato, which is kind of funny enough. So we're going to do this, and we will do Elgato on track 1 and track 3 for the desktop audio. Now, we'll talk about the desktop audio later. So the main thing is that you want to make sure that you have every single audio thing on a different track, because when you edit the video later on, let's say that Dokkan is a little bit louder than you wanted it to be, or your mic is very low compared to your Dokkan audio or Legends audio. This is going to be something that could make it where like the video is unwatchable and you have to scrap it. But guess what? You're smart. You put it on multiple tracks, and you can change the audios of each single one, and it's no longer a problem. Very easy fix. So the desktop audio, by the way, is if you want to play music in the background while you are recording. I usually do not recommend this, because you can always just download the audio tracks from Dokkan or any Legends OSTs that you want to do, maybe even Mega Man, you know, any video game OSTs that you want to play in the background. You can decide to do that later, depending on what's happening. And let's say that you're recording a Legends video, you don't want to constantly be pausing and then unpausing, then pausing, then unpausing your music inside of your game, and then you have to like hit play on your YouTube and then immediately start on whatever. But if you're doing something like Dokkan or something where you don't have to necessarily be constantly stopping or starting, let's say that you're discussing the news of like Dokkan and you're like, oh guys, look at this new Vegeta Blue, let's talk about it, you know, then you could definitely use the desktop audio. I've definitely done it a couple of times where I put the audio in the background and then discuss the Twitter nonsense or anything like that. But yeah, that's basically all there is to the audio for now. But or actually no, there is one more thing I want to do or talk about. Something that I usually do is I put the audio for my Elgato on, or your any capture card on 40. If you were recording through, let's say, Discord, for example, I would also do the same thing where you put it on 40, because I feel like if it's any louder, it's just going to be so blaring, and then you are going to be sad when you are editing and your eardrums are blasted into smithereens. But again, that's more of a case-by-case basis. This is just what I personally do it as, and then I usually have my audio as like somewhere around here, basically -10 or -1.3 from what it's saying over there, and then that's about what I like to keep it at. And then in terms of in-game volume for games, if we're talking about Legends, you want to put that usually at around 1. And for Dokkan, I always recommend putting the battle game music on half of whatever you keep it on in-game. So let's say that you want to put sound effects all the way up, then you put battle game music somewhere around the middle. You put battle game music around here. Alright, you put the sound effects around here. The main reason for that is because when you are playing these types of games, you want to make sure that the audio of the music isn't like overpowering the characters talking during active skills or anything you might be showing off and stuff like that. So I think having the sound effects higher can make it easier in Dokkan. For Legends, you could usually just keep them all at around the same audio. So like either you want to do 1, you want to do 2, you want to do 3. I usually just keep it at 1 so I could always turn the audio up later rather than turning it down and having my eardrums absolutely eviscerated, you know. But yeah, that's probably it for the audio. We'll go ahead and discuss, let's see, what do we have next? We'll probably go ahead and discuss the Dokkan OSTs and like how to put in OSTs for editing stuff next. Alright guys, so time to talk about the editing and stuff like that. So as you can see here, we have all of the clips that I've recorded so far, which is kind of funny because we're literally going to start editing some of this stuff in real time. So as you can see here, we have the first clip of like when we started the video, all of this stuff. You can see down here, I have already downloaded and put in the OSTs. One thing I will say is that when you do download some of the OSTs, they can be very, very loud, and the audio, I lowered it through like a software or through a website called like mp3cut.net. You could use that if you want to as well. This is just what I did because every single time that I would open up the OST, it would literally destroy my eardrums, which we've already talked about how that could be a problem in some of the other stuff. But time to talk about like the stuff like the audio tracks and all that. So as you can see here, I know that like every single video editor is going to be different. So this part is specifically going to be VSDC editor. If you do use any other editors and want to like comment about how hard or easy it is on the other ones, I know that I think one of the other popular ones, DaVinci, has it where choosing the thing I'm about to talk about, the audio track, is like on the left side. You have to right click on the video and then click on the options of it. But again, we're just going to talk about the audio track for how to do it on VSDC Player because it's easy and it's a free software that I use. So right out of the gate, I like to turn down the in-game music by 5, even though I lowered it literally by like 95%. We're going to go ahead and listen a little bit to it. Alright, so you can see there that the audio is still a little bit too loud for the thing. Actually, my bad. I actually forgot to record the sound. There we go. Now we can actually hear it. So let's go do that again. Yeah, so that sounds about right. We'll leave it as that. We'll probably do the same thing for, we'll listen to that later. So now to talk about the audio tracks. So remember how we were talking about the audio tracks in OBS? Let's go. Well, I can't really show it because, well, maybe I could just kind of like pull it up over here. Remember how we were talking about the audio tracks in the advanced properties? This same layout that you're going to be putting on the other stuff is the exact same thing that is going to show up in the video editor. So remember how we put our audio or the mic on track 2 for me? It's going to be track 2 for that. For this specific one, you can split the audio like that and then make it where you can add multiple tracks. So let's split the audio again. Let's see. We'll put it on track 3 because let's say that the in-game audio was track 3 that we put it as. Now track 2 and track 3 is all right here. Again, this is going to be different for everybody because not everybody's going to use the same video editor that I do, but it is going to be basically the same process. You're going to want to have both of the audios right there, and then you can manually adjust it. So let's say that the in-game audio is too high, then we could just go ahead and do this, and then it wouldn't affect the my microphone, or I guess the other way around. But I'm not actually using the in-game audio because it was like blaring my ears. So let's go ahead and fix that. Let's go ahead and do where it's just like that. And then you'll notice that some video editors will have it where it just doesn't use the audio on the video anymore. But again, it's different for everybody. So then yeah, I'm just gonna delete this so that way it's easier for me to notice it or to look at it. So like that. All right, and then let's go ahead and go to the second part. Okay, let's look at the second OST. We're gonna do that one. Gonna lower it by 5 just to make sure that it's not too high. I still think that's a little bit too loud. We'll lower it by like 3, try it again. Right, okay, so that's good. One of the main reasons that you want to do something like this compared to like how I was talking about where you put the audio on top of, or like you run desktop audio and then you have like the OST running in the background, because let's say that you're a Legends YouTuber or anything like that, you can see exactly where you're doing the cuts and stuff. Well, that I guess it depends on if you are just doing different recordings. So let's say that you do your intro and then you stop and you start making a recording another video, then it'll have the things like this where it could show like the video being split up into 2. So then you could be like, okay, well, I'm going to do it like this. Most of the time it'll have it where it could snap. Then there you go. That's the first fight. Okay, now I'm doing the second fight. Boom. All right, my second Legends video stops right here. That's the second fight. Boom. You know? Let's go ahead and fix this though, because I think it's about 10 minutes. Oh, no, it goes to that line. We'll just stop it right there. And then we'll just do it like that. Yeah. And then I'll just like end it probably around here, because I don't know where, I actually don't know where that one would end to, but it's fine. So yeah, so then that's basically how you do the OSTs and stuff like that. And then most of the time they'll have it where you'll be able to export the video somewhere on the top left and stuff like that. We can go ahead and check and see that if we wanted to, we could or go ahead and export the projects, but obviously I need to put in the part that we're talking about right now into this. So then we would do that afterwards. So then let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and edit that, and then we'll go ahead and start talking about how to do some of the thumbnails and stuff like that. Quick little tidbit that I wanted to just mention here. Not every video, again, is going to have this, but there is sometimes one of like the options that you can put onto videos. So for mine, for example, you can put on audio effects. So let's say that this, because we are ending the OST a little bit early, it might make it a better transition if we make it where the audio fades out. Then we're going to put it on like towards the end of the scene, and then we'll put it for 5 seconds. So then as you can see here, it would sound like this. So then as you can see there, it'll make it where it's a cleaner transition into the next audio rather than doing it where it's just like, you know, just stopping out of nowhere. Especially that's very helpful, especially for Legends videos and stuff like that. And then audio, you could also do it where you fade in as well. There's like more effects like that you could probably find inside of your video editor depending on which one you're using. And then yeah, let's go ahead and move on to actual thumbnails now. All right, time to talk about how to like make some of the thumbnails that you could do. You might I remember when I used that one like 3 months ago. So I actually have a thumbnail maker make the thumbnails for me, but back before I was able to find that person and have them do the thumbnails like how you might see even in this video, you'll see that I have it where I linked his Twitter, so that way you can go check him out and stuff like that. But let's say that you are just starting out again and that you want to make videos, but you don't obviously want to you don't want to pay somebody for a thumbnail if you're not if you're just starting out. So something you could always do is, this is what I used for when I was thinking of doing a future AGO Gohan video. So you could always go to something like Dokkan Assets and download some of the Dokkan cards. Legends also probably has something similar, I would assume, where you could just either go onto Twitter or go onto a website and then find out some of the PNGs for the units and stuff. And I'd actually like to take the quotes that the character uses, and then I would put them on the side so that way it would look really nice and look like stuff like how it shows here. There is a couple of things that you could do for the background as well. This is just something I looked up with like future background, and that's how this is how I popped it up. But something you could also do is take in some of the background card arts for Dokkan, because there's like hundreds upon hundreds of Dokkan cards that have really nice backgrounds, especially for SSRs, TURs, and LRs. You can always take those ones, put it as the background for your images and your backgrounds. And then sometimes you could always just cheat, like one of the anniversary parts. If let's say that you're just doing a discussion on how to do or not, let's say that you're just discussing the news, right? Like let's say that you're talking about 9th year anniversary, worldwide download celebration. Sometimes the easiest thing to do is to just take the image that's already in the game and then to just use that instead. So let me just pull up an image real quick. All right, let me just pull it up on the side. Let's do Dokkan 9th anniversary, or not 9th anniversary. Let's just do Dokkan 8th anniversary. Let me just look that up real quick. Images. There we go. So you see how all of these images are here? You could just easily use any of this. So like the Spirit Bomb, you could be talking about part 1, part 2, part 3, and you could just take all of the images. The countdown campaign, boom, screenshot of that, bam, it's done. Let's say that you're doing a summoning video, take the banner arts and then just do that. Let's say that you're doing a discussion. You might notice I've done stuff like this where my thumbnail maker literally just takes the screenshot of both of the LRs and like the banners and stuff, and then he just puts on the bottom like an effect that just says like part 2 anniversary summons or anything like that. You could always just have it where you can download the logos as well and then put it on top of maybe either the banners or anything like this. This is a really good example as well. It's just like, I feel like there's definitely an easier way of doing thumbnails similar to this, where you just put the banners on each side, the LRs on each side, 8th anniversary logo in the middle, and then text on the top. Like this is actually a really good example of like just how you can make it an easier logo or an easier thumbnail without having to spend too much resources of editing like these really cool things, and like, oh, let's 8th anniversary, let's do video. Here we go. Like, oh yeah, let me put Vegito on the right side. Like you don't have to make it look all fancy like this. You could easily just do just some of the stuff that's either already in game, or you don't have to make it look like I was saying, like fancy like this, and you could just have it where it's or doing something like this. You could easily just do it, so like boom, 8th anniversary battle, there's the 2 LR arts, and that's it, you know. I feel like that's the easiest way to do it, is to just take the something like this, like how I was talking about. Take the LR or whatever unit that you're going to be using, or anything like something like this, and then you just put the background. You can easily look up stuff like future background or whatever saga that you might be doing, and then have it where that's the background too. I think there's, if you even just look up, like how I was just saying, where it's just whatever saga or whatever fight, you could probably here, let me actually just Saiyan Saga background, just kind of show this off. Images, bam, like this. You could easily just do something like that, easily put something like this. This probably could be a good one if you put, like, let's say that you're reviewing Phys Kaioken Goku after, or the version Z Goku after all this time. You could put his LR art on top of this. There's a lot of different things, or sometimes even doing just like something. You could always look at the suggestions and stuff. Like, these could always help out too. This one's a really good one. Oh, it's because it's the Fizz Vegeta. Yeah, see, this is a perfect example. You just literally like, this is such a good background for just putting Dokkan art on. Or maybe even just take the TR art of Fizz Vegeta if you're doing the Easy A video that he's doing, this he just came out with. Just put like his text that he uses during the super attack, just put that like on the left side. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the last part. Alright, now that you have everything already set up and you've recorded everything, you've uploaded everything, what should you do for the title and stuff? So something that I like to usually do is just talk about what you're going to be using, like you're doing inside of the video. So look at this video, for example. This one's probably titled something like how to record Dokkan / Legends videos, and and something similar to that, right? So what you always want to do is have like a really catchy title, of course. You know, wow, so many free LRs. Like let's say that you just pulled 5 LRs. Maybe you could put something like, oh, 5 free LRs. You could always do something similar to that, you know. And then just talk about something like your banners or something. And let's say that you're doing a Legends video or doing a Dokkan showcase video, and let's say that it's not a summit video. You could always do, let's take Ultra Vegeta Blue, for example. So let's just put like his ultimate hits this hard. Ultra Vegeta Blue showcase. And then I always like to put the game afterwards that you're playing, just that way people can, that way you can always have the game inside of the title. If you're doing Dokkan, I would just do Dokkan Battle. If you're doing Dragon Ball Legends, I would always just put DB Legends, because that's probably the easiest to put. If you don't want to put this symbol as well, you could always just do something like that as well. That's completely fine. Let's mark it off of this. And then for the description, make sure that whatever you have inside of the title is also in the description. So we put free ticket summons, free LRs, ticket summons, Dokkan Battle, Dokkan Battle. That's usually a good method, because in the YouTube algorithm will read that, okay, so this is a Dokkan Battle video because it has it both in the description and it has it in the title. He's doing free ticket summons, free ticket summons, free ticket summons. And then for the tags, like we'll do down here, I usually just like to put I want to see, you want to put around 20. As you can see, we almost hit the limit. This isn't mandatory. You probably just put like 5, but make sure you put something like Dokkan, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan, Dokkan Battle, like the game that you're playing, whichever the thing that you're doing is. So like, let's say Ultra Vegeta Blue, we put Ultra Vegeta Blue Showcase, Ultra Vegeta Blue the Legends, Dragon Ball Legends, Ultra Vegeta Blue, stuff like that. So that way, again, the video or the YouTube algorithm knows that that's the video that you're trying to make, and then it'll try to push it out to content creators who are already making Legends videos, and that way you can get more views. And then I usually like to put the videos all inside of a playlist. So let's say that somebody does eventually want to watch all of the videos that you make later on, you could all have them all categorized. So if someone only primarily likes to watch summon videos, that's fine with them. You know, you have all of your summon videos all stacked right here, or somebody wants to check out all of them, they all have them right there. If they want to check out a specific event, if they want to check out again another specific event, collaborations, which we'll talk about later, showcase videos, Mario Party, you know, stuff like all of this. You know, you can have it all separated, so that way if somebody does want to always watch the playlist, they can just do it like something similar to that. Oh yeah, and then for collaborations, I almost forgot to say it during the audio, but I'll just kind of like make a quick point right here. You would always just adjust the audio for both versions. So, you know, or I guess we'll just talk about that right now. So for the audio, let's say that you're doing a collaboration with somebody because they're very cool and want to do a collab with you. You'd always just match up the audio. There's some people who do like clap method, do 3, 2, 1, stuff like that. So that way you could always have it where you match it up. So then you just do it like this. You could just have it where the two videos are playing right next to each other in the editor, and then do that. One of the things I will say as well is something that I've noticed is having both people record their microphone is probably the best, but it's not mandatory, because I did a collaboration with Bartolomeo. Sorry if I butchered that name. I'm probably always going to continue to butcher it, but shout out to him. We did a collaboration, and I actually recorded the audio for both of us, and then I took the desktop audio and I put the audio track on for him as 3, for me as 2, and then my in-game audio as 1, but I just muted my in-game audio regardless. So then because of that, he didn't actually need to send me his audio, but he could just send me his video, and then we wouldn't have to worry about that. But yeah, that's probably later down the line. I don't know if anybody's going to be doing collaborations. And then for times, make sure that you're doing it probably consistently at a certain time, so that way people can always expect when to do the videos. So like as you can see here, it's about to be 12, and I'm gonna edit this video and then push it out as soon as I can, because I usually upload around 12. And then yeah, that's about it. Make sure that obviously you put the video on public. Oh yeah, and then scroll down here all the way to the bottom, and then I actually didn't set it because I'm apparently dumb, but make sure that you always put the game too, because whenever somebody looks up that game, it's going to show that one when you look up, like on YouTube, if you look up Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle and then you only look up that specific game, it'll show you there, so it's easier for people to find out your video, of course. But yeah, that's probably all the things I wanted to talk about. We covered a lot of stuff, but hey, if you guys have any tips, if you guys have any stuff that you want me to just discuss, or if you need any help with some of the videos, if you need any help with learning out some of the stuff, maybe I wasn't a little bit too clear on some of the areas, just leave a comment. I'll try to help out as much as I can. Of course, like I said, I'm not going to be 100% able to help on every single issue, because everybody's going to have a different device. I specifically use Apple phone, so if somebody used Android phone, my brain no worky. I will not know how to do issues like that, right? But for something like, let's say that you're having an issue with OBS, I could try to give you like tips and stuff. But even if you have any tips on how to make recordings easier, what you use, just let me know in the comments. You know, I'm always happy to have a discussion. But that is all the time we have for today. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your week. Leave a like if you liked this video. Leave a comments if you either need help or if you want to discuss, you know, like the videos and stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.